Hi folks, how you doing? Russell, TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Put in the healing back in health. Once again, when you're at the website, get the free downloads, setting goals, fitness, and nutrition. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there as well. Links are all down below. Coming at you today with a video on why we need humility, true humility. And this is a big one. This is a difficult thing to comprehend, to understand. And I just made a video based on why, I don't know what any of these titles are going to be, but it's going to be something like why they dislike America, why they dislike Christians in the world. Right? And this one can kind of go with that. This can almost be a part two. But why we need humility. And I wish I would have looked it up. What saint said it? First of all, we get humility confused. People always think humility is like thinking less of yourself, right? But I wish I would have remembered the saint. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less, right? So once again, it's that same concept of joy, right? Jesus, others, self. You're third, right? Why you are third. Same thing. That's what humility is. It's putting others before you. And I think if you truly start to live that humble life, that life of humility, you're going to see great things happen. And why is that? It's going to be because if you want to be an entrepreneur, right? Creator of the iPhone, the computer, you want to open a restaurant, all these different things, right? What do they all have in common? They wanted to help others. That's what it was about, right? If you're going to open a restaurant, like I always tell people when they're like, well, what do you eat? It's like, well, when I'm training and I'm trying to super lean, I eat like a dog. It is what it is. I eat the same thing over and over again. But if I'm going to open a restaurant, I'm not going to put things on the menu that I eat because the majority of the people think the way I eat is crazy, right? You're going to make combinations of spices and herbs and foods that you think are going to resonate with people, right? So you can be, if it's a Mexican restaurant, you're going to want to have some food that's going to cater to Mexican people, maybe to some white people, maybe to whatever, right? You want different combinations that can appeal to certain people. You don't want anything that is just, oh, well, I like this, so I'm going to do this. I like this, so I'm going to do this. Well, most likely your business is going to be unsuccessful because you're not humble enough to think of others. You're only thinking about the things that you like. And unfortunately, right, we're all unique individuals, and having that train of thought isn't going to get you anywhere in life. Right? That's what they say a true, great entrepreneur is going to do. You want to always do something, create something that's going to help others and make their life better. And that's what humility is about. That's how it's going to help you business-wise. So that's why we need humility once again, right? And once again, it's the same thing. When you look at it in the Bible, everybody wants to say it's compromise, right? A good relationship has compromise. Well, no, because compromise usually means someone gets their way and the other one's unhappy. And that's not what it's about, right? It's about doing. You both need to be humble in a relationship to where the one person you're going to say, hey, I'm going to go do this. Oh, okay, have fun. But don't get mad when the next person says they're going to do this. Or it's that same concept when I was talking with one of my clients about what I think makes a good relationship. And it was something that I heard from another podcast that I listened to. I'm trying to think of which one it was. Dr. Taylor Marshall, Catholic professor. But that's what he was talking about. He says, when my wife gets real, like if you're living with someone, when your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, is getting really irritable, right? You can almost sense the tension and it's about, oh, we're about to explode, right? Well, that should be the time when the husband or the wife should be like, hey, babe, you go hang out with your friends tonight. Call them over. Call your friends over. I'll go upstairs. I'll read a book. I'll make you guys some appetizers. You guys can sit down, watch the game, hang out. I'll go upstairs and read a book. Right? That's not compromise. That's just doing something because you are evaluating the situation and you know what's happening. The tension is building. Maybe you said something that hurt her feelings. She said something that hurt your feelings. And the tension is rising, and now you got to be able to see it and be able to defuse the situation before it actually happens. You got to be humble enough to say, I've messed up, what can I do? Sometimes sorry's never going to be enough, right? It's never going to be enough. But you can do something to make the situation better. You can buy them a nice gift, buy them some flowers, make them dinner, do their chores, whatever it is. But once again, it's being humble enough to realize that either you did something wrong and you need to do something. And once we're able to do that, then things will get better. It's the same thing with, I think that's the same thing with America. You know, I've heard it said best a while back, there's a difference between patriotism and nationalism, right? Nationalism or patriotism is going to be, in my opinion, the same as just being a great Christian, living a great lifestyle, to where people see what you do in life and they go, I want that, right? I want that. So they're going to start to emulate you and do the things that you're doing. And that's how you become a true Christian, right? That's patriotic. That's what true patriotism is. People see the lifestyle that you have and they're like, I want that. I want to be American. I want to be Christian. Not just I want to go there because of the freedoms that they have and they want to. I always said this is also the bad thing. My mother's side's Hispanic, but my grandparents are the last ones that know how to speak Spanish. No one else knows how to speak Spanish. It was, we're American. You're not going to learn Spanish. You're going to learn English. You're going to speak English. This is America. Today's generation, it's completely different. It's, no, we're bringing our culture and we're bringing everything here and we're changing you. Well, that's not what it's about. That's why America's so twisted right now, right? Because everybody wants to bring their culture and change America. But no, America, we already had this idea of what our country was about and everybody wanted to be American. Now everybody just wants to be in America. So there's a difference. They don't want to be American, they just want to be in America. But once again, we need to be American. So that's what patriotism is. People seeing it and they want to be a part of it, not just be there. Right? And the nationalism is what I think more of America is now. And another reason why people don't like America as much. And it's because we just say, democracy's the greatest. We're going to blow up your country. We're going to give you an entire new government. Boom. This is what your government's going to be like now. And that's not humble. That's not humility, right? That's what nationalism say. No, this is what's right for you, no matter what you think. I've heard one of the books I read, Sanity in Society by Frank Sheet, I think. He said, first you must know what something is before you try to change it, right? So you need to know what America was before you just come in and try to change it. You need to know what Christianity is about before you go in and try to change it. You need to know what man is about, what man is, why man was made before we just try to change man. Once again, I think that's another issue with, kind of like the whole transgender thing. I'm just going to touch it gently. But I think the downfall is we as men see men as these big burly, I'll go with it, the beard. I like the beard because it makes me feel a little manlier, right? But once again, then we as this perception of man, big, muscular, hairy, whatever, and then all of a sudden a feminine man comes in and we're like, oh, that's not a man. Well, no, that's a man. Men can be feminine as well. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm looking at him, he looks like a man and he's feminine. That doesn't mean he's not a man. Right? And then we seclude him, and then we wonder why all of a sudden now we have this segregation and this difficulty in different men, different gender, different thought process, feminine, masculine, race, age. We can't even communicate with each other and build that bond because we have this lie of what we think man is. We're not humble enough to just say, yeah, that's a man as well. He's just as manly as I am, right? If anything, he's a little bit more manlier. He's able to connect with that emotional side. And unfortunately, we can't do that. We're not humble enough to say, just because he's somewhat different doesn't mean that he's not as good, as this, as that. Once again, humility is more of just looking at your fellow man, right? That's what they always say as Christians we should do, is we When people look at us, they should see Jesus in us, right? So when people look at you, do they see Jesus? I know when they look at me, they probably do not. I'm still a jerk. I'm still a mean guy. I'm still got my issues. But do they? When you look at someone, do you see God within them, Jesus within them? And if we had that humility for people to see us that way and for us to see everyone else that way, the world would be a different place. We need that humility. We need that beauty of thinking of ourselves less. Not thinking less of ourselves. Just to think of ourselves less. And I'm going to throw this in. I'm at 11 minutes, but I'm going to go with it anyways. I might make another video on it because a lot of people might not stick around this long. But once again, it's the topic of chastity, right? Why is chastity so important? Now, you know what? I'm going to make that another video. I'm not going to go with that one. But it always comes down to that same concept. Jesus, others, yourself. It always comes down to it. So, once again, I apologize for the voice. I'm sick. I'm just trying to get over it. I hadn't made videos for like a week and a half, maybe a little bit longer, because this cold hit. But I just had to start making them because I needed the content. I haven't put out a video in 1 to 2 weeks. So, once again, I hope this helps. Just remember, it's God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to be pushy on the subject. Whatever you want to call it. The great consciousness, whatever. Others, yourself. Humility is going to help you in every aspect of life. Nobody wants to be around someone that's always thinking of themselves. Right? You got to have the best interest in those around you, and great things are going to happen for you. So, once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. All those links are down below. Share and like these videos.